listen to so much music. You're a rock and roll maniac.
Did you see what he just did with that little piece of paper?
Yes, he's a rock and roll maniac. Hey guys, welcome to Table Talk. These are our names. These are your topics. Let's do this. Starting off from Andrew Owen at AndrewOwen7. He says feelings about women in the armed forces and should they be drafted?
No. Women belong in the kitchen. Sandwiches.
High five time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man. No. Whatever. I don't care. Equality. Yeah. Let them in. Sure.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like there are definitely stronger women than I am out there, and they should be
Both mentally and physically.
Oh, yeah.
And emotionally.
And
Name
in
one
every-
woman that you know that the viewers also know who might physically be stronger than you.
physically stronger than me.
You're not gonna be able to name any of them.
A woman that
We could
like
take
probably
all of them.
any girl MMA fighter.
That's
be
true.
that.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Any former American gladiator?
Any
Yeah.
girl fighter. Period.
Yeah.
Turbo.
There's a girl and she makes a living.
Turbo was a dude, but Zap or Lace. Yeah? Or
We don't
Blaze.
know if Turbo was a dude all the way. We don't know.
That's true. Or Helga. She was in the new
Helga.
American Gladiators.
Did you watch the new American
Phoenix. Do you guys
Gladiators?
remember Phoenix? She was hot. Whoa, I'm getting off the topic. I'm with Elliott on this. If a girl wants to fight, allow her to. I don't know. I haven't been in the military. I haven't read up on studies on guys kicking it in the same place, getting ready to fight, doing
Psychological.
battle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is there potential to it's like an I don't know if it's a segregated army, like gender segregated, or you keep them together. But that being said, I don't think we should keep them from participating if they want to.
I agree. Yeah, no, I
agree.
I think there is a concern if you get we'll just dive right into the next one because this is stupid.
Wait, no, you were almost done saying a good point.
Well, I mean, I do think that there is value in being concerned about whether inclusion of certain types of people has an effect on morale or has an effect on like distraction and whatnot. But I don't think it's a reason to necessarily ever exclude anybody.
Also,
but it should
yeah,
be studied.
exactly.
It should be monitored. It should be accounted for, but not like the overall decision shouldn't be made based on.
The thing is
that
like,
type of
will
thing.
we ever get over the men versus women thing? Because honestly, I just feel like, let's stop saying like, what can men do that women can't do? Honestly, I think it's like pointless at this point.
Maybe the best way
keep
to put it
doing
is the opportunity should be equal, but from there on out, there's no like there needs to be a certain number of women and men in this.
The affirmative
Yeah.
action.
You can't do that with the
I'm not
military
a
because you
fan
got to have
of
the
that.
best people doing the job,
Uh,
no matter what the job
Black, white,
is.
male, female, gay, straight, whatever.
Yeah.
Mr. at it's Asman, Wan Asman says top 3 hottest actresses.
Oh gosh. Okay, you go first.
Jennifer
'Cause
Lawrence.
I know you have them down.
Scarlett Johansson and
That's not true.
Charlize Theron.
Okay, you go.
Charlize Theron's a good one.
She's a very attractive.
Natalie Portman.
She's good.
I'm still on the Mila Kunis kick.
Yeah,
I got a thumbs up from our editor. And number 3 is probably Kristen Stewart. Just kidding. No, I would probably go. Charlize Theron is jaw-droppingly beautiful.
If you saw her in real life, you would probably just die. You'd probably just die.
There's a supernatural
I
element.
get it. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit off the beaten path because I don't have a lot of time to think about it. So I'll go to some of my mainstays.
Let's do some mainstays, Jeff.
Lacey Chabert has always been one of
I
my
honestly don't know who that is.
I'm gonna throw in a little bit of Susan Sarandon because she's close to my heart.
He's not joking.
I'm not joking.
He's not joking.
Present
Current.
day. Well,
It's
any
kind
day.
of crazy
To be fair,
how-
it's any day Susan Sarandon.
It is
When
weird
she was
how
8.
often he talks about Susan Sarandon in the writer's room.
She's very attractive.
We might have to have it
It's
in
not that
very
she's attractive.
attractive.
It's not that she's attractive. I think she exudes sexiness. I want
Yeah?
to give
Do
her
you?
her pills.
What
I
would
want
you
to
do?
Feed her. I want to open up the Monday canister.
You said pills in it first. I thought you meant like a roofie.
no.
Did you
no.
see Jeff
I don't know
who-
what's in her Monday canister. Maybe it is.
Did you see Jeff Who Lives at Home?
No, give me my third real quick. Let's just say Olivia Wilde. She's incredibly attractive.
She's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Alright.
it's another one that's like if I see her in public, I wouldn't be able to. That's like, all right, let's go to the next one. Blah, 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 blah. And don't be that one. Okay,
What?
here we
Don't
go.
be that
You know
one.
that one, that teeth pube one.
Wait, that's on your phone, isn't it? Okay.
No. Oh, I may have deleted it accidentally.
Yeah.
At
What?
Scuba Steve 17, which is the topic. At Scuba Steve 1709 says, "When do you think a boy becomes a man?" Hashtag Table Talk. Hashtag Man Talk.
When you go fishing with your dad and have a beer?
I think it's when you go from ordering the double cheeseburger value meal at McDonald's and start ordering a quarter pounder with cheese.
Or when you go from the kids' meal to the Whopper?
I was gonna go McDouble, the double cheeseburger.
Oh, I get
Which
it.
is to say,
I get it.
another slice.
When
of
does a
cheese.
boy become a man?
When you
When do you think legitimately, when do you guys think a boy becomes a man?
Maybe once you do something like very responsible for a woman or your family.
I think once
you start
in that
making
vein.
decisions for yourself and others.
And mostly others. I
And
think. When you
other
start,
people, yeah.
When you start basing your life around what others want, and
You know,
I
it's
think
interesting. I was thinking about this recently. An 18-year-old in our society, in American society, isn't considered a man. I would argue that 21-year-olds are still considered like immature, almost childlike citizens as opposed to men. We give them that, they're young. But they're not. 18 that's a man. That is somebody that should.
13 if you go. I mean, like.
Yeah, if you're going by that. But what I mean is
like
you're old enough to be making your own decisions.
But you're still a teenager. But maybe there's that stigma of being a teenager.
And that's a society thing.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm still a kid very much, and I feel like there are elements of my life where I'm like,
I'm definitely
crap,
still a kid.
I'm growing up, like I'm becoming a man, whatever that means. At the same time, it's like my wife and I were talking the other day about kids because everybody's having children right now, and we're not having children right now. But one of the reasons that it boils down to is like we still feel like we're kids. So
you know what though? I've got to say the moment I felt least like a man was actually like yesterday. I was driving to work. Yeah, it wasn't like a couple years ago. It was yesterday. I was driving to work and this woman like flagged me down like in my condo complex. I was like, oh my god, what's going on? So I stick my head out the window. She's like, can you jump my car? Like,
no, I can't.
And I was like, I don't have the cables. And she was like, I do. And I was like, I'm not a man.
I don't know how to use them.
And
then you don't
I
need
got
my
out
help.
of the car, exactly, and I was like, cool, I can do this. I open up the trunk, I put the thing on, then she...
Oh, you went for it?
She hands me the key. Yeah, because, you can't just fucking...
So you were improvising with electricity?
I'm telling you, I, open up the car. I didn't even think about it. I open up my trunk, I turn off the car and everything. I walk over to the engine, I'm like, cool. And then I look over at her, and she's holding the cables. And I'm like, oh, shit. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this.
Were you open about it?
So did you just guess?
You fake it?
You guessed.
No, what I did
Don't guess. Don't ever guess.
You blew up her car.
This is what I did.
You murdered her to cover it up.
I swear to God, this is what I did.
She's dead.
You chopped her up in little pieces?
I hope you don't have to
she's
jump
not
your car
dead.
later because you have a dead body.
Give me your hand. Give me your... There's blood on this. There's crusty blood.
No, that's from my nose.
There's
sorry.
guilt.
Yeah, that is guilt,
And
actually.
you're going to live a very long time according to this line.
Let him finish his story.
Okay, really quick. The way I did it, and I feel like such a dick, was like, okay, I'll do this side and you get that one.
You waited for her to put him on.
And she was like, okay, I've got it on. I was like, your car's off, right? Because I knew that part.
You kept repeating that part over and over
I
again?
knew that, yeah, car's
Even
off,
as
right?
you were
Cool,
driving
car's
away.
off. I open up my Fiat, and I'm like, oh shit, I see the negative, but where the hell's the positive? So I'm like, that looks right. So I stuck it on, and then I get into the car. I swear to God this happened. I get into the car, and I turn it on, not the engine. I just turn on the car, and I'm looking at her with a big smile on my face, and she's like, are you joking? You gotta turn on your car. And I was like, I went, oh! I turn it on, and she's like, you're messing with me. And I was like, yep.
I do comedy.
I'm a funny man.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll be there. You'll get there soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Moving on. We're moving on. No. We're moving on. Deal. All right. Dustin Pedigo, @DustinPedigo, says, how you all met your wives?
Aww.
Hashtag table talk.
That's adorable. So I met Elliott's wife.
Go.
Just kidding. I met my wife in high school. I can't remember
What
how
class?
old I was. It was not a class. Well, actually, we had drama together, and we were going to be in our town. And I wasn't supposed to be in our town. My buddy Bobby was like, dude, we need you in our town. You're a funny guy. Come into the thing. I was like, that's not a funny play. I don't know why you want me in it. Anyway, so hung out with my buddy Bobby, met Sarah. I swear to you, I instantly connected to her. My buddy Bobby. I instantly connected to Sarah. Oh. No joke. And the story we tell, which is absolutely true, the first time I ever talked to her.
As all stories are, that begin with the story.
Well, anybody can make up some shit about how they met their future wife or girlfriend, but this is absolutely true. I was riding on my friend Bobby's back with bunny ears on, and we were like just running around and charging at people. He was a big dude. And we go over, and I was like, dude, go over to where Sarah is, over by the fountain over here. There was a fountain outside our school. So we go over to it, and Sarah's sitting there, and I was like, hey, what's your name? And she's like, Sarah? Well, didn't we meet or something? I thought we met already. And I was like, oh, whatever, cool. And then we started joking around, and then from that moment on, it started a lifelong friendship, and then I banged her eventually. And now we're married.
I had a thing for coffee in Spokane, Washington at Gonzaga, and there was a drive-through coffee stand right next to our school, and I started going to that a lot, and then eventually I started getting grasshopper iced lattes from my lady a lot, and then I asked her to attend one of my comedy sports shows, and she didn't go.
Why? Why didn't she go?
Why didn't she go?
Oh, that's right, because I didn't tell her where it was.
You
So
gotta
then
know where comedy
So then I
sports
came
is.
back, and I was like, you didn't go. She's like, you didn't tell me. And then I told her again, and then she came to my show, and she brought her mom.
Oh.
Passionate.
And then I banged her.
And now you're married to her.
I
Mom wasn't there for that.
That was an extension of Steve's joke. I did all the appropriate show... Not
courting.
Huh?
You courted her.
Yeah, I courted her, did all the...
Yeah, I don't
say
want
you-
that to be a mistake.
I almost said I did all the right chauvinistic steps, and then Elliott cut me off, thank God. But
Sure. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and I also wanted to be clear. I didn't like bang Sarah right
Chivalry.
off the bat.
Chivalry.
I did like we were friends for a very
3
long time.
days.
Then we dated. No way, we were friends for like fucking 4 years, and then we dated, and then we did our thing, and then we knew we were gonna get married.
My story very closely parallels yours,
Oh, yeah?
except it wasn't drama. It wasn't a play or anything. We were in stagecraft class in high school when we were 14 years old, and we were learning about tools, which is like, because that's what you do if you're a theater kid and you need to learn
So
about
you were
tools.
learning about you.
Yeah, I'm a tool. I'm a tool.
see what you did there.
That is so mean. That is so mean.
I don't
But no,
understand why you're so negative
So
all the
we're
time.
there, and I hear Tiffany, my wife, behind me, and she's a couple seats back, and I'm all quiet and stuff, and I'm like learning about stagecraft because I think it's important. It's not.
As a stagecraft kid, it's like, oh.
I know, right?
You're going to get a tweet later.
What about
It's
my
like, you used to be
keystone?"
my favorite, Elliott C. Morgan.
Stagecraft.
No,
shaming.
stagecraft is more important than acting. Acting is horrible. But I hear my wife behind me. She's not my wife at the time. She's 14. That'd be weird and gross. But I hear her talk about her birthday. We're all getting to know each other, and she says, "Oh, my birthday is February 22nd." And I'm like, wait a second. And I turn around. I'm all 14. I got like super weird bleached
I'm
out
all
sun.
14.
I'm all 14 and stuff. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what did you say your birthday was? And she's like, February 22nd. I'm like, oh, I was like, that's my birthday too. And she was like, what? And I was like, cool. And I turned around, and then that's how we got to know each other. And then we became friends later, and then we dated for a while. And then we didn't date. And then we did date, and then we got married. And then we went to college, and then we moved to California, and now we're here.
And then you banged her.
And now she's working.
I was waiting for that.
Right?
Yeah,
When's it gonna go?
When's it gonna go?
Hey, so there's the story of our
That was-
ladies.
that was
Let's do
long.
one last real
Okay,
quick
wait,
one.
no, the last one is on Elliott's phone, isn't it?
No.
Come on! Okay, then fine. If it's not on Elliott's phone, I'm actually gonna pull one from Reddit that I queued up because we actually started pulling from Reddit, and we'll actually have.
Reddit has the funniest meme on there. What's that meme with the mallard?
Is it called a question duck?
It's the Pregunta Goose.
Pregunte Pato. All right, so a user on Reddit. So what we're doing is we're pulling topics from Reddit too. We'll tell you all the info in the description. But Kato55 says, decades. What are your thoughts on the different decades and what define them? Did the decade of the zeros with all it gave us stack up with the others, such as the 70s, 80s, and 90s?
Oh,
I can't speak for the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You can't speak for anything prior. We can't speak for any of them
Yeah,
really
yeah.
prior to the 90s. A
But
little
from
bit
what
of
we
the
know,
80s.
though.
I don't know. I think you get a nostalgic feeling for everything. So
Uh-huh.
like, I can't even define the aughts in my
Is that
mind.
what they're called?
The odds.
Yeah,
I like that.
I can't even define them. And it's hard even, I think, to define the 90s. I enjoyed the 90s. I
Yeah.
think the 80s are a little easier. Usually
We're,
defined by music. It's weird.
It is weird. I don't know why that is, but I guess you can also define it by huge political
Yeah.
instances.
I
like
remember the
9/11?
90s being very happy.
Yeah.
What?
The 90s were like this happy,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
no-
Yeah, because I think for us, we were at an age where we were ignorant of the outside world still, and we were having fun. We were kids.
I think
Bobby Brown, Vanilla Ice. You see, it goes straight to music. You're right. It totally does.
I think the 90s is definitely a lot of music, a lot of grunge and post.
So was the 80s.
Where,
80s
Ooh,
were right.
grunge.
Experimental.
What was your
fun.
favorite grunge band? Do you know?
well, I was never really into grunge. I did like post grunge, so I did like Third Eye Blind and like that kind of like white people music type stuff. But the OOs is like to knots. Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
So,
The
no,
aughts.
it's hard for
20
aughts,
aught
sorry,
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the aughts are the time where like I think I entered high school, graduated high school, went to college, graduated college, and got married, and like so.
That's a huge defining decade.
That decade was pretty much just my entire life. So I think that's also the decade that I moved to LA and.
But I mean, if we
Everything.
could step outside of our personal experiences,
Well,
like, how would you?
I can straight up tell you the best decade. Straight up, 1630s.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
They were the best.
Tell us why, Joe.
Great
no,
music.
that was the link. That was the.
Okay.
fast.
Talk about your teen girl obsessions. How did this get in?
We're men.
Okay, when I was a teen girl,
Wait, what is your
I
teen
can
girl
answer it.
obsession?
We know how
My
to jump cards.
My teen girl obsessions were. Let me take this off while I talk about.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
All bets are off.
teen girl Joe obsessions. JTT.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Tool time.
Do you
He was
remember?
Simba's voice. Oh my god. Devin Sawa. When he danced with Christina Ricci at the end of Casper, I thought I could never do better than that moment.
I
and
thought
I haven't.
my life could have ended at that moment and I would have been fine.
Oh gosh, it was great.
Can I tell you, Jonathan Brandis, Sequest,
Sequest.
Neverending Story 2, also Joey Lawrence. I mean,
God.
come on!
You know, I got
Matthew Lawrence?
Matthew
Lawrence.
Oh, why not just take a Lawrence and one up him once?
That's even possible.
How about this? How about this?
Lawrence to the Lawrence Power.
Lawrence of Arabia.
That little boy from Jurassic Park.
Oh, adorable. Adorable. This is pretty...
You're talking about Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Guys, this is really perverted because we all have beards. Well,
Shut your mouth. Also Ben Savage and
Oh,
all
Fred
the
Savage.
Savages. Fred
Ryder
Savage.
Strong.
Ryder Strong.
I've never wanted savages in my life
Never me.
more.
Never me. I've never wanted
Jaleel
to
White,
be
huh?
Ryder
Oh my goodness!
Stronger.
When Jaleel White was Stefan on Family Matters, oh my! I
that
didn't know
magic
he
potion.
could clean
Okay.
up. He cleans up.
Hey guys, how do we get out of this?
How about AC Slater? Who are we talking about?
Zach Morris.
Oh,
Okay.
my goodness.
All right,
Backstreet
you
Boys
guys.
is
Thanks
good.
for joining us on Table Talk. I'm Joe Beretta.
I'm Elliott Morgan, and that's Steve Zaragoza.
That's good.
Say something witty, so we can go.
I banged Jaleel White. I banged him.
Yeah, all right. That's the height of wit.
That's the
right
definition of wit, right?
You brought it back. 'cause remember
Like,
when we
subscribe,
talked-
and go to the description if you guys want to be a part of Table Talk. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I think
Thanks
that's
for
a good.
joining us, guys.
good
Send your
citation.
topics in on with the hashtag Table Talk on Twitter, or send it into Reddit. We'll have a post every week that is the official SourceFed Table Talk post. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time, huh?
Seriously though, guys, like, would you rather have pube teeth or teeth pubes?
See, that's the question I wish we had gotten to.
Well,
There was somebody asked us a question: would we rather have pube teeth, so pubic hair as teeth, or teeth pubic hair, or teeth as your pubic hair?